Welcome to your sleep story. I'm so glad you're here tonight. Whatever this day was, however long it felt, however much it held, it is behind you now, completely behind you. You made it through, and that is everything. So let's begin. Before I take you anywhere tonight, I want to count you down from 10 to 1. And as I count, I want you to allow yourself to sink just a little deeper into wherever you are right now. Feel the weight of your body. Feel what is beneath you, holding you. And with each number, just let go a little more. 10. Allow your eyes to close. Gently, completely. There is nothing you need to see right now. 9. Feel your shoulders and let them drop as far as they want to go. 8. A slow breath in through the nose. 7. And all the way out. 6. Your hands. Feel them opening. Whatever you've been holding today, you can put it down now. 5. Your jaw is soft. Your face is soft. 4. Your legs are heavy, warm. 3. You're drifting, not asleep yet, but moving that way. 2. The day is behind you, completely and entirely behind you. 1. And now, tonight's sleep story, the relaxation. Before we go anywhere, I want to stay here with you for a moment. Just here, just now, because this moment, this exact moment right now, where you are lying in the quiet, deserves a little attention, a little kindness. Take a breath in for me, from the very bottom of the belly. Good, and let it go. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine that everything you were carrying today, every worry, every unfinished thought, every heavy thing is just leaving with that breath, just drifting away. You don't have to solve anything tonight. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to be anything other than exactly what you are right now. A person who deserves rest. A person who deserves sleep. Because you do. You really do. Whatever happened today, whatever was hard, whatever felt heavy, you made it through. You are here. And that is enough. That is more than enough. You are safe. And you are here. Bring your awareness gently to your feet now. Just notice them and allow them to soften. The toes uncurling, the arches releasing. All the small held tension of the day simply letting go. Let that softness travel upward, through the calves, through the knees, the thighs. All of it warm, all of it heavy, all of it resting now. Your lower back, your hips. Allow yourself to feel the surface beneath you taking your weight completely, fully. You don't have to hold yourself up anymore. The earth has you. The sea is beside you. The belly soft. The chest soft. The heart beating steadily as it always has, as it always will. Your shoulders dropping, your arms heavy and warm, your hands open and still, the neck long and loose, and your face, let the jaw go. Let the forehead smooth. Let the eyes be completely still behind their lids. There you are, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, completely soft, completely warm, completely at rest. You've done beautifully. Now, let me take you somewhere the rope is coiled, and the tools are hung, and the sea is quiet outside, and the old rope maker has come to the end of his day, and the shed smells of hemp and salt and the work of many years. Come with me, the Harbor Road, a coastal road, old, narrow, the road that runs between the sea and the town, between the harbor and the houses that grew up to serve the harbor. Not a busy road, not anymore. It was busy once, when the fishing was at its height, when the boats were many and the work was constant, and the road carried the traffic of a working harbor. Now, quieter, the fishing diminished, the boats fewer, the working harbor becoming the heritage harbor, becoming the place people come to remember what a working harbor was. But still, some of the old trades, still here, in the old buildings at the road's end, the buildings that back onto the sea, their doors facing the harbor, their walls the walls of working buildings that have been doing their work for a very long time. The rope shed, the last one, the shed, long, very long, the rope walk, the ropery, the traditional building of the rope-making trade, is long because rope-making requires length. The fibers twisted together to make yarn, the yarn twisted together to make strand, the strand twisted together to make rope, each stage requiring the material to be stretched out along the full length of the walk. This shed, perhaps 40 meters long, perhaps more, an old shed, its walls the tarred timber of old harbor buildings, the tar that waterproofs the wood, the tar smell, even from outside, the tar and the salt, the particular combination, the harbor building smell, the door at the near end, heavy, old iron hinges. You push it open. Inside, the length of the shed, 40 meters, stretching away from you, the light from small windows in the roof lights, the windows that a ropery needs to illuminate the full length of the walk. The rope, everywhere, coiled ropes on the hooks along the wall, different thicknesses, different materials, the older hemp ropes, cream gold, rough, the traditional fiber, the newer synthetics, bright white, smooth, both here, both made in this shed, the hemp and the synthetic, the old and the new, both here, Cornelius, not the Cornelius of the canal maps, another Cornelius, this one older, 74. His hands, we have noticed hands throughout these stories, the hands of Cornelius, the rope maker, extraordinary hands, the hands of someone who has been working with fiber and twisting and tension for 51 years. Strong, the particular strength of the rope maker's hands, not the blunt strength of heavy labor, but the precise, sustained strength of hands that have been twisting and pulling and feeling the tension of the rope for 5 decades. The skin of his palms, unusual, the hemp fiber worked over years, has left its mark on the palms. A slight roughness, a slight darkening, the fiber in the skin, not painful, simply the mark of the work. 51 years of the work. In his hands, he is winding the last length of rope for the day. His movements practiced, unhurried, the movements of someone who has made perhaps 500,000 meters of rope in their lifetime, not thinking about the movements thinking for themselves. The smell, the rope shed, the smell of it, hemp, the hemp fiber, raw hemp, before it becomes rope, has a smell that is green and slightly dusty and clean in a vegetable way. The smell of the plant, of the cannabis sativa plant, the industrial hemp, not the other kind, the hemp that has been used for rope and sail and cloth for 10,000 years. The smell of it in the shed, in the air, in the coils on the walls, in the floor of the shed stained with years of hemp oil, the oil that preserves the rope, that is worked into the fibers, and the tar from the outside of the building, finding its way in, the coal tar that has preserved this building for a century. Its smell, ancient, resinous, slightly medicinal, and beneath both, the sea, the salt of the sea, finding its way through the shed walls, through the small cracks, through the roof lights, the salt of the sea that has been finding its way into everything in this harbor for as long as the harbor has been here. What rope is twisted. That is what it is. The fibers twisted into yarn, the yarn twisted into strand, the strand twisted into rope, each stage twisted in the opposite direction to the last. This is the genius of rope. The opposite twists. The yarn twisted one way, the strand twisted the other, the rope twisted the first way again. The opposite twists, locking against each other. The more tension on the rope, the more it is pulled, the more the twists lock. The rope getting stronger under load, not weaker, stronger. This is the counterintuitive truth of rope. Pull it, it holds harder. The more you demand of it, the harder it holds. Cornelius has known this for 51 years. He does not need to think about it, but sometimes he thinks about it. The sea outside, through the small roof lights, the sky, and outside the long wall. The sea, the quiet sea tonight, not the Atlantic of Alvaro's harbor, not the fjord, a smaller sea, a coastal sea, the harbor sea, the water between the harbor walls and the open water beyond. Contained, still, the boats at their moorings, the boats that use Cornelius's rope, the mooring ropes, his rope, holding the boats to the harbor, as the boats have always been held, by rope, by the twisted fiber, by the work of the rope shed. The boats held, the harbor quiet, the water still, the rope doing what it does, even now, even in the evening, even when Cornelius is inside winding the day's last length, the rope still holding, The hooks along the wall, the hooks, the rope hooks, iron hooks fixed into the timber wall at intervals, the hooks that hold the coiled rope, that are the storage system of the ropery, each hook holding its coil, the coils of different sizes, the small coils line, really, rather than rope, the thin stuff for the fishing boat's gear, the medium coils mooring rope, the standard rope of the small harbor, what most of the boats need, the heavy coils, the thick stuff, for the larger boats, for the serious loads, each hook its coil, the wall of rope, the inventory of a ropery, the work of the weeks and the months visible on these hooks, each coil made by these hands, sold eventually to the people who need rope, which on a harbor is everyone. 51 years. Cornelius has been making rope since he was 23. His father made rope before him. In this shed, at this ropery, the trade passing, as trades pass, from hand to hand, not mechanically, by watching, by doing, by the long apprenticeship that is the only real school for Hans Nollet. He watched his father. He did what his father did, slowly at first, the hands not yet knowing, the hands learning, year by year, the hands knowing a little more, year by year, and now, 51 years in, the hands knowing everything his father's hands knew, and more, the things his hands found out themselves, the things his father never knew, because his father never had the chance to know them. 51 years, the hands knowing 51 years, the evening, the shed, the day done, Cornelius hangs the last coil. He does this with a particular motion. The coil wound in a specific way, the way that keeps it from tangling, the way that allows it to be paid out cleanly when it is needed, the way his father wound the coil, the way his father's father wound it, not because anyone told him this was the correct way, because watching taught him this was the correct way. He hangs the coil on the hook. He steps back. He looks at the wall of rope. He looks at it every evening. The wall of rope at the end of the day. The work, visible, coiled, on the hooks. He nods, not to anyone, to the wall of rope, to the day, to the work, good, the CAT evening. He goes to the sea door, the door at the far end of the shed, the door that faces the harbor. He opens it, the sea, the harbor in the evening, the boats, his rope on their cleats, his rope through their fairleads, his rope holding them to the dock. He looks at it. He does this every evening, not for reassurance, not checking, for the acknowledgement. The rope is there. The boats are held. The harbor is as it should be. He stands in the door, the sea smell coming in, the evening air, the quiet of the harbor at this hour, the boats, the water, the rope doing its work, patient, strong, holding what COR knows. He knows the materials: hemp, manila, sisal, the synthetics, the polypropylene and the polyester, and the nylon. He knows each one, not from chemistry, from handling, the way hemp behaves differently wet than dry, the way manila takes the tar, the way the synthetics are strong, but have no give the stretch that hemp has, that absorbs shock. The synthetics cannot do this. He knows the uses. What rope for what purpose? The mooring rope that must stretch a little to absorb the surge of a boat in a swell. The halyard that must not stretch, must hold its length exactly so the sail sits right. The warp, the spring line, the breast line. He knows what each one needs. He knows how to make what each one needs. From the twist, from the material, from the gauge, the knowledge in his hands, the way all this knowledge lives, in the hands of the people who make things. T, a small room at the shed's far end, a kettle, a chair, old magazines. He sits, the kettle boiling. He makes tea. He sits. He can hear the sea through the wall. Not loudly, the quiet sea of the harbor, the small sounds of moored boats, the creak of the ropes, his ropes on the cleats, moving very slightly in the water's movement, making their small sounds, the rope sounds of a harbor at rest. He hears them every evening as he drinks his tea. The rope sounds, his work speaking quietly from the harbor to hear, growing still. The shed is around him. The rope is on the hooks. The sea is outside. The tea is in the cup. The boats are held. If thoughts are arriving, and they probably are, because that is what minds do, they are not staying long. The rope takes them, not metaphorically, not exactly, but the thought of the rope, the twisted thing, the thing that holds harder the more it is pulled, the thing that gets stronger under load. The thoughts come, and the rope receives them, and they are held, and then released, as all things held by rope are eventually released. You don't need to hold any of them, just the shed, just the smell of hemp and tar and salt, just the sea outside, just Cornelius in his chair, 51 years in his hands. Still here, peace lives in this shed, in the rope and the hooks and the sea and Cornelius's, 51 years of making what holds things. Tonight it is yours. Good night. You are doing so beautifully. The day is done. You came to the shed tonight. The hemp smell found you before you entered. Cornelius was winding the last length. You watched his hands, the hands that know 51 years. You stood in the sea door and watched the harbor in the evening. The rope was on the boats. The boats were held. The shed received you, as working sheds always receive people who come to them with open attention. With the hemp and the tar and the salt and the particular, honest, completely reliable presence of a place where useful things are made. Carry it with you on the days when you feel you cannot hold. The days when the load is too much and the strain is too great, remember the rope. Remember that rope gets stronger under load, that the more you demand of it, the harder it holds. You are not weaker under load. You are stronger. As the rope is stronger, you know the way here now. But tonight, you are already here. The rope is on the hooks. The sea is outside. The shed is quiet. Sleep now, deeply, completely. You deserve every hymn-scented, tar-dark, sea-quiet, rope-held, harbor-still moment of this rest. Every single one. Good night. Sleep well. The shed through the night. The rope at night. The rope on the hooks. Through the night. Not changing. The coils as Cornelius left them. The hemp ropes. Cream gold. The synthetic ropes. White on their hooks. In the dark of the shed, not doing anything, but ready, the rope ready, as rope is always ready. It does not need to be doing anything to be what it is. A coiled rope on a hook is the same rope as the rope under load on a boat's cleat. The potential of it, present, always present. In the coil, the strength waiting, the holding waiting, the rope on the boats, the harbor at night, the boats, the ropes on them, the mooring ropes, Cornelius's rope, doing what rope does, through the night, as the tide changes, the boats rising and falling, the ropes adjusting, the twist of them absorbing the movement, the boats held, not rigidly, with the give that rope has, the slight stretch, the slight release, the boat moving within the rope's tolerance, the rope tolerating the movement, holding all night, whether Cornelius is here or not, the rope not requiring his presence to do its work, the rope doing what it was made to do. The sea at night, the harbor sea at night, quiet, the tide turning, the water that came in with the afternoon tide going back, very slowly, the harbor emptying slightly, the boats settling, the ropes adjusting, the creak of the cleats, the very slight sound of rope under tension, not loud, just present, the sound of things held, the sound of the harbor at rest, the sea beyond the harbor walls, darker, deeper, moving more, the swell finding the harbor entrance, being absorbed, the harbor walls doing what harbor walls do, breaking the swell, protecting the boats, protecting the rope, what 10,000 years made. The rope, 10,000 years old. As a technology, the first ropes, plant fiber twisted together, thousands of years before metal, before the wheel, before writing. The rope, the technology of holding, of connecting, of keeping things together. The rope that allowed the first boats to be moored, the first loads to be carried, the first structures to be held. The rope that the Egyptians used to build the pyramids. The rope that the sailors used on every sea in every age. The rope that held the ship that carried every explorer. The rope that bound every cargo. The rope that lowered every anchor. Cornelius in his shed, making rope as it has been made for 10,000 years. The same principle, the same twist, the same holding. 10,000 years of this. Still here. The morning. Cornelius arrives at 7. He opens the shed. The shed smells of yesterday's work. The hemp, the tar, the salt. He goes to the hooks. He checks each coil, not for damage, for the pleasure of the inventory, the work that is there, the work he will begin today. He selects what is needed. He sets up the hook spar, the twisting machine at the far end of the shed. He sets the material on the hooks. He begins to turn, the yarn beginning to twist, the twist beginning to travel down the length of the shed, the rope forming as it always forms, slowly under his hands, the hands that know this, that have always known this, that will know it for as long as he is here, making the rope that holds the boats, that holds the harbor, that holds the sea at bay, that holds. The rope is on the hooks. The coils are wound. Correct. The sea is quiet. Outside the shed wall, the boats are held. Cornelius's rope on the cleats. Through the night, the tide is turning. The ropes adjusting. The boats rising, just slightly, held, and Cornelius is asleep. His hands, 51 years, at rest, and the shed is dark, and the smell of hemp is everywhere, and the tar, and the salt, and the sea, and you are sleeping, deeply, completely, peacefully, in the rope shed, by the quiet sea, the work done, the rope holding, as rope always holds, harder under load, stronger when pulled. This is exactly where you should be. This is exactly what you deserve. Every hemp-scented, tar-dark, sea-quiet, rope-held, harbor-still moment. Every single one. You are safe. You are held. You are at peace. Good night, dear friend. Sleep well. Sleep deeply. Good night.